Oh, there we go.
Alright, we're in there.
We are in there, as the pastor would say. Let me see if my summer blockers are working properly. It always bugs off on that last one. What the hell? Riven ban at Manslayer, no surprise there.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a lobby where they didn't just ban out Riven against him. Not too much fun for the other team when he has that champion. And other standard bans, Yasuo, Lucian, Tristana, all just strong champions. Shyvana also a targeted ban at Manslayer. And the Morgana, just probably the strongest support that is in the game currently, so pretty much standard bans.
I think I got it now. There we go. Summer blockers are fixed.
And insta-locked Draven out of Devon Senpai. I guess that's a comfort pick for him.
You'd not be surprised if maybe that Hansen asked for it as well.
Yeah, that would make a lot of sense too. Hansen likes to show off that AD carry aggression with Draven.
Manslayer, Matrix Python up to bat. Manslayer hovering over Lulu. He keeps hovering over Lulu, never picks her.
Fiora is more of a Manslayer-esque champion. And the Gnar,
as is Gnar,
frequenting.
He's going to show people that Gnar. He's going to make people fear it.
And Gnar, people are actually starting to pick that up a little bit in solo queue. People are realizing that you can actually just build tank early and still put out fine damage. So, not as underwhelming as people originally thought.
Yeah, well, you still see some Gnars in solo queue building damage items, and I saw one build Runon's Hurricane today, and that was not pleasant.
That sounds interesting.
He did not do too well. We somehow won that game, though. Matrix Python gonna lock in the Thresh. Strong support pick. Coming through.
Pretty good against Draven. You can usually predict his movements pretty well with the axes that he has to catch if he wants to keep the damage going. So, pretty good choice there. Then Chris Hansen on his favorite top laner. Pretty much his only top laner from what I've seen. The Doge.
Gonna play the Doge. Chris Hansen. Gonna go with the Nasus, likely. He also jungles him.
He does. I'm not so sure that the way he does it is too effective, but he does like...
Oh! This is a new Hansen pick.
Maybe this is a new Chris Hansen.
Picking the very meta Rise. Might be in that top one. We'll have to see.
He's up against Manslayer. He was probably a little scared of that W harass if he did go Nasus. It's pretty easy for Gnar to just bully him around all day. Rise a little bit more of a safer pick that can actually exchange with the Gnar early on.
Again, Kylef going with the Leona. Leona Draven, very scary lane for whatever Purple Team's AD carry will be. Breaking Bad gonna go with the Fizz pick in that mid lane. Controlled Chaos hovering over some champions. Maybe going for a Lee Sin.
Yeah, Fizz is Breaking Bad's main champion from what I understand. I'm pretty sure that's, by and large, pretty much the only champion that he really likes to play if he does get to choose. So he'll be comfortable on that. And Lee Sin, I don't know too much about Controlled Chaos, but Lee Sin, just a standard jungler, strong early, has fine utility late, so just good, well-rounded jungler.
Why try? Ooh.
We've been seeing this Poppy.
We saw Poppy in a lobby the other night, and it went off. Sinsanity. Looking at an Annie pickup maybe here. It'd be interesting to see against Fizz. Not sure how Annie fares against that mid lane. Not too familiar. Gonna look over maybe a Syndra. Might be better. How do you feel about that, Barbie? You're a mid lane main.
Well, Syndra would definitely be the smarter pick in terms of just conventional matchups. Annie's a little easier. Syndra, you actually have to worry about skill shots and whatnot. Does go with the Annie. The Annie's pretty good because she has a really long attack range, one of the longest of any mid laner. So you can stay out of Fizz's Q range while you auto attack him. So if he can abuse that and kind of chuck Qs at him all day, he might have a pretty good time.
I believe Annie's attack range is what, 625 or 600?
I think it's 625.
Why try? Gonna show us a Rammus pick. So the gank power of Rammus is undeniable. The incredible speed into that taunt. Bullet Cow gonna show the Poppy as well. But switches over to Ash, Caitlyn. We'll have to see what he goes with. A lot of 80 carries to choose from.
Yeah,
Not
he
sure.
does.
Not sure we're gonna see another Jarvan bot lane this game.
I hope not with the Thresh. Wouldn't be too effective.
Gonna go with
he did-
Vayne.
Yeah, he had the. He was able to see that Rammus pick come out before he picked his 80 carry, so he could pick someone that can kind of deal with the Rammus better, and Vayne falls into that category.
Vayne with that condemn will keep Rammus from really being able to get close to her at all if she holds on to that during the laning phase.
Yep, and has plenty of peel on her team too.
Yeah, the Lee Sin with the kick. And Thresh with those flays. Can be really strong against the Rammus.
Yeah, both of these team comps are they're pretty strong. They both have good things going on, respectively. The blue side has a really powerful engage between the Leona and the Annie. Rammus can kind of get in there and tie somebody up after the engage, and then just pretty good damage coming out of the back line between Draven and Ryze. And then on the purple side, they have good appeal. Blue team doesn't really have a way to get to that Vayne. As long as they deal with the Rammus, she's going to just be free to shoot at whoever she wants. And along with the Manslayer on the Gnar, just kind of brutalizing everybody. And it should be a pretty even matchup, I think.
It'll be interesting to see who can pull ahead. I think a lot of the blue team lanes, so actually not have really want to get aggressive, really, especially the Draven, Leona, and Annie. Definitely want to start slinging spells that Fizz does not want to allow Fizz to have his way in that lane.
Yeah, it's gonna be important for Fizz to pop Annie's Q with his E if he does want to go for an all-in or for an extended exchange. He's got to pop a Q with his E, land on her, and then use the Q to close the gap. And from there, he pretty much has a huge edge.
I do like the team comps, both teams. They do have some good mid-game champions, and they have good late-game champions. I do like the mix of that. It gives you a smoother game. You're not all in on late game. So if you get absolutely stomped in the early game, you have a chance to really come back in the mid-game with certain power picks. Like Annie's really solid in the mid-game, Draven as well. But they have the Ryze in the late game, so they have that late-game hope. That Ryze will just get gigantic. And purple team, they have the Vayne. But they also have Fizz and Gnar, who are just really good in the mid-game as well. So they have mid-game focused champions, they have late-game focused champions, so it's really a pretty even matchup, I'd say.
Yeah, I think it's both teams are pretty similar in the way that the dynamic of the scaling is going to go.
But one team definitely wants to be team fighting with the Leona ult and the Annie ult from blue team. But purple team, maybe looking more for picks. They got the Thresh, they got Fizz, and they got Vayne. All these champions really good at setting up picks.
Yeah, both teams have a lot of pick potential. And purple team's team fighting ability really rests on Manslayer. Their real AoE, just flashy ability is pretty much Manslayer's ult, which he's been known to pull off some pretty sick ults.
Yes, he definitely is. We'll have to see if he can get those. There's a good amount of CC coming from blue team. You got Stand Aside from Draven, the Rune Prison from Ryze, stuns coming from both Annie and Leona, taunts from Rammus. So if he jumps in, he will likely get taunted. No, you don't have to, Bully Cow. You can stay around. Because
we're on a delay.
We are on a 3-minute delay. Did I drop? Yeah, I did drop Summoner's blockers. So no huge surprises from Summoners, though Chris Hansen choosing to go with the Ignite in the top lane instead of the Teleport. Manslayer will have that advantage on him if he does see the opportunity to teleport, likely to bottom lane.
Yep, Chris Hansen not a man for teleporting. Likes to go aggressive and try and get kills early on. Yeah, I think this bottom lane is really going to be the lane to watch, I think. Mid lane could get hectic, but both of these players are probably going to be a little scared of each other as far as going all in. So this bot lane, there's really not much you can do about that Leona Draven. If Leona lands an E, there's going to be a fight.
Leona very good at force fit, unless Thresh can get the play back, but that is a really high reaction speed time, and he's got to be in position for it.
Yep, so that'll definitely showcase some Thresh mechanics here.
Yeah, if Thresh can stay between Vayne and the Leona, he'll always be in position to really be able to get that play back onto Leona. But very devastating play for Thresh. Usually able to get counter harass off that play as well.
And we have a tie game here, 3-3. The game's over.
In the skin war.
The skin war. And that's really what we come here for.
I would call this pretty much a tie. There's a lot. I like the skins. I like Full Metal Ramus. I like Uncle Rise, but Void Fizz.
Uncle Rise is a funny one.
It's a pretty sweet one. America. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, he's packing them hundreds under his arm there.
Those $100 bills.
He's got stacks, and I don't mean tier.
Oh man.
Full Metal Ramus, pretty good. It's supposed to be from a movie, isn't it?
What?
Full Metal Ramus, isn't he supposed to look like a character from
Full Metal Alchemist or something? I don't know.
I think there was like an old Disney movie where there was like a robot that like a kid befriends a giant robot.
Oh, Iron Giant or something like that.
Yeah, I think Iron Giant. I think that's what he's supposed to look like, but I'm not
or
sure.
what's it called? AI. I can't remember what it's. I can't. It's one of those movies.
I think it was Iron Giant.
He does kind of look like him. Well, I know the character you're thinking of. I can't remember which movie it is. Barb will look it up. He'll figure it out.
Yeah, we'll see.
Looking at loading bars. Why try? We need to start making a. We gotta make a fund for why try to get in the toaster.
A Kickstarter might be in order.
A Kickstarter might be in order.
The brave little toaster, just always trying to pull through.
Don't worry, guys. Why try isn't on the joke, so he doesn't mind.
No, he knows.
But seems like the brave little toaster that could is trying as hard as it can to get to 100%, and it's working at it.
And the pool party Lee Sin, that's a favorite skin of mine. You get to ride the coconut tree back to base, throw some
throw some drinks
around. Yep.
Get people.
Is it a drink? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a drink. It's a coconut drink.
The coconut tree.
He just drinks at people and then jumps to you to get the drink back.
Yeah, the man likes his alcohol.
He likes those pina coladas.
I'm not gonna think about the physics of how that works. If you hit somebody with your drink, you get to teleport to them feet first.
Do you get minus points for SKT Vayne now that Piglet's no longer in SKT?
I don't know.
Is that minus points now? I don't know.
Yeah, SKT not having such a good time.
Not this season. They didn't. They had that win in the winter season, but unfortunately couldn't translate to any more success later on as the meta shifted away from a meta that really the team could dominate in.
Yeah, the game really just slowed down since they were in their heyday. It's really very much
I think the big nerf was the turret nerfs that really affected them, because they were, I believe, the fast push team that really took advantage of the turrets having no extra armor.
Yeah, they like to accelerate games, which is really tough to do now.
Trinkets, items coming through. Chris Hansen, I don't know if this is patented now, but he likes to start that blue trinket.
Can't imagine why he would want that over a ward.
I don't know. He does like that item though. He gets it on Jungle He was getting it on Jungle Nasus.
I mean, normally it's a strategic kind of niche situation that you would want that orb when it's too dangerous to kind of actually go into the enemy jungler to ward. If they have a very strong pick comp and you don't have any vision control, you kind of just want it to scout things out without actually having to go in. But not really sure why you'd want it this early.
Why try getting spot out man? So they're gonna get slowed down by the boomerang. Control Chaos not in range though to follow up.
And also a scrying orb on Thresh kind of indicates that he's really looking for those hooks early on. Wants to, rather than having the safety of a ward, just kind of clear out the side brushes so that he can set up the hooks from the fog.
With that coin start, likely to rush. Oh, Draven walking into the bush, face checking the hook, not gonna land for Matrix Python, but Devin Senpai gonna get really chunked, gonna throw axes at Willie Cow. Chunk him out.
Yeah, this is smart if Draven backs, which he's going to do. He was probably trying to make Vayne back as well, so that he wouldn't actually lose out in XP and farm.
He should be back for most of this second wave. This first wave, I mean. Oh, he chooses to. Looks like he bought an extra potion. No, he did not. Or did he?
Don't believe he did.
I don't believe he did. So, doesn't even get an advantage from going back here. Ooh, Chris Hansen taking a long-range boomerang to the head. Insanity already throwing out his fireballs, last hitting the waves, and he does get returned mana now on those Qs. Not a recent change, but definitely a reason to have Anime in the mid lane now. Hansen and Manslayer exchanging spells, already chunked about a half each. Manslayer already chugging through his first potion. Breaking Bad taking a good chunk of damage from the combo from Annie. Level 2 already achieved.
Yeah, that's what Annie really wants to do. Just take advantage of Fizz not really being able to do much without at least having his E and his Q and kind of bully him early on.
Manslayer hits level 2 first in this lane. Chris Hansen is level 2. Gonna do the spell combo at Manslayer. Manslayer's already chunked. Goes down to about 100 HP.
I think he's dead here.
Chris Hansen flash,
Yeah,
ignite the Q. Manslayer gonna go down. Chris Hansen showing Manslayer who's boss with this rise.
Yeah, that was just simple calculation right there. Just got him low enough to where a Q and an ignite would finish him, and then Manslayer needed to realize that once he was that low, Hansen could just easily flash Q and ignite him, and he'd be down. So he probably should have flashed early there.
Yeah, once Hansen hit 6, Manslayer probably should have taken that time to back up and not been so close to Hansen's range. And when Hansen was so aggressive, like, oh, Manslayer going in onto Chris Hansen, trying to get something back. He's going to take a turret shot. He's going to exchange kills. I'm not sure if that's what Manslayer wants right there.
Depending on how the waves are pushed here, yeah, I mean, it's pretty much a stalemate as far as that second kill goes. Doesn't really go either way.
Breaking Bad taking a lot of damage in the mid lane from this Annie. Annie, though, almost out of mana. So there's some solace in the fact that it's not going to last too much longer for Breaking Bad. If he can keep sustaining up with that flask, should be able to maybe take advantage of... Oh, Rammus, though, coming in. Gonna troll pull away. Oh, why? Try taking a lot of damage. Ignite goes down for Breaking Bad. Not afraid to throw out that Ignite to get Rammus away from him.
Yeah, I mean, he had the right idea there. He probably should have waited for kind of a harder, commit from the Rammus. Because he wasn't actually low enough to where he was just going to die immediately. Yeah, now Manslayer is really in trouble in this top lane now. Rise, you really don't want to get behind, because once he gets that tier, it's just endless Qs, and it's just going to get worse from here.
Okay, here comes the Qs from him. He's almost even got a Catalyst. Manslayer going really low, having to jump away. Controlled Chaos, maybe looking for a lane gank here. We'll have to see what he can do. He's sneaking up. Not willing to move up further, though. He probably should. I think he would be able to get in that bush.
Yeah, this is what they got to do. They got to really kind of keep the Rise down early, not let him get any further ahead of Manslayer, or this game's going to be over. It's being very patient in that brush, just waiting.
Going in, gets the lands the Q. Chris Hansen going really low. The red buff is on. He throws the Q at Controlled Chaos, not Manslayer, so Manslayer will live.
Yeah, that had to be a misclick. I mean, I think he had Manslayer. Yep, he says in all chat, man, he just misclicked. So misses out on a kill there.
Misses out. Now Manslayer able to farm up this wave, shove it into turret, hopefully, and go back. I don't think he's... Yeah, there's Rammus. He's going to have to back off. So
Yeah,
Manslayer...
It's a little solace for Manslayer there, yeah.
See what he picks up with his newfound gold. Looks like he's gonna go for a Spectre's Cowl on a rush. Didn't have the money for it when he died the first time. Picked up a Ruby Crystal. Picks up the Negatrunk Cloak here. That'll really help him against this Rise damage. But Rise already at his 2 early game core items. He's on pace for a really early Rod of Ages. Oh, Hook lands onto Devon Senpai. Matrix Python goes in on it. Wooly Cow taking a lot of damage back, though, from Devon Senpai. And Devon Senpai not taking all that much damage.
Yeah, I think he could have kind of kept that fight going a little bit. He got scared of something, kind of just backed all the way out of the fight. But I think he had more in him.
They didn't know where Lee Sin was. They didn't have ward coverage in the river either. They had ward in the tri-bush. They might have been afraid that maybe that was a thresh hook for Lee Sin to go in on. Chris Hansen bopping the ultimate, just throwing his spells at Manslayer. Hook lands again on a Devon Senpai. Gonna get pulled in again. Kyleth, though, counter-engaging. Manslayer going really low. Another Q will take him down. Rise. Just so dangerous. Woolly Cow going really low. Has to pop the heal. And Flash. Double summoners down for the red side bottom lane. But in the top lane, Chris Hansen and Manslayer just going at it. All the kills have been involved up there. And only one of them were with the involvement of a jungler.
Chris Hansen is going to be a big rise. And as far as Purple Team's ability to control him goes, it's going to be up to the Fizz. Like, they do have kill potential on him, which is good. The Vayne can kind of take him out. The Fizz can assassinate him and leave between, if he kind of Qs him and then kicks him away and Qs him again. Has some chunk potential, but he's going to be scary.
Manslayer trying to return damage on this Rise. Rise going to pop the ultimate. Manslayer going to jump away. Q goes down on him, chunks Manslayer a little bit. Not too much. Rammus, though, steals away the blue buff. Control Chaos going to ward and see that Rammus just was escaping with that blue just as he went to go get it. So no blue buff for Fizz. Fizz going in on this Insanity. Gets ulted by him. The Shark goes out, going really low as Insanity. The Ignite is sticking. The Caster minions, it's enough for the kill trade. Insanity and Breaking Bad picking up a kill in the mid lane.
Yeah, pretty well fought by both players. There was definitely a way that Fizz could have played it to where he didn't go down if he had maybe flashed away from the Tibbers, kind of behind the Annie for that final hit there. He definitely would have lived, but pretty good fight by both.
Yeah, Annie up about 25 CS in this mid lane. It has the last hitting tool and had the ability to harass Fizz, so not too unexpected result there from the mid lane CS scorer.
Yeah, definitely expected for Annie to win out in CS early on. She's very much a lane bully, and without any jungler assistance, there's not too much most mid laners can do against her early on.
Manslayer in this mid lane. Just probably covering it for Breaking Bad. Probably gonna head top now. Stun goes down onto Breaking Bad, and a Q chunks him to almost half. About a 3/4. Farming going down the bottom lane. Manslayer throwing the boomerang. Here comes Controlled Chaos. Jumps the Manslayer. Manslayer taking tons of damage from this Rise. Already has the blasting one. Chris Hansen going low. The double flash. 1Q will likely take down Chris Hansen. Oh, he gets the return kill. But the kill in the assist goal does go over to Controlled Chaos and Manslayer.
It was a nice gank, but he actually should have waited until his ult kicked him all the way before actually activating the second part of the Q. Because what happened was he ended up... Oh wait, this might be an all-in here in mid.
Oh, no.
No, they back off. But yeah, he actually kicked him out of melee range, so he ended up having to chase him, which allowed Hansen to kind of kite him and put damage down to kill him.
And for Manslayer, this gives him precious time to farm. Cincinnati chunking out Breaking Bad. Going down to almost 300 HP. Devon Senpai getting exhausted in his bottom lane. Woolly Cow getting the return exhaust on him. Devon Senpai going low, popping the heal. Woolly Cow, will he be able to take down Devon Senpai? Yes, he does. That's one kill. Condemns Kylaf away. Not sure if that's what he wanted to do there. The hook lands. Will Woolly Cow be able to get the auto attack on Kylaf to take him down? 3 more will do it. The flash flay. 1 more auto attack will surely take down Kylaf. Woolly Cow gets it under the turret. But here comes Insanity with the roam. Likely going to pick up this kill on a Matrix Python, and does. Woolly Cow recalling deep in enemy territory, but will get out safe.
That was a very beautifully played fight by Thresh and Vayne there. Vayne actually used her tumbles perfectly to stay out of melee range of the Leona and avoid the E, so she wasn't CC'd at any point throughout the fight, and just put down enough damage on Draven to where he couldn't even retaliate.
Good roam by Annie, though, to be able to pick up a return kill. At least getting 1 kill in that fight does keep Blue Team even in global gold. Manslayer taking a lot of harass from Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen getting to melee range. He wants this damage to stick. Not able to get off more. There's another Q at Manslayer. Manslayer already below half. But here comes Breaking Bad. Manslayer goes really low. There's the Shark. Chris Hansen going extremely low. The Rock will take him down. He threw out the ultimate. I'm not sure if that was necessary, but unlikely to cost Manslayer in the long run.
Yeah, Chris Hansen, he likes to use a phrase of his approach to top lane. He says he's always open for business. And what he means is he doesn't ward. He's just going to push his lane out, bully his lane opponent, try and get kills. And if you want to come up there to try and kill him, he says you're welcome to do it. He's not going to try and avoid it.
Definitely an aggressive top laner. Can be risky. Definitely not what you're used to in the competitive play. Oh, the taunt goes on to Breaking Bad. The Timbers will take him down. Controlled Chaos trying to pick up Why I Try, but unable to. The Ignite's not enough. Sinsanity picks up a double kill in this exchange.
A nice kick from Lee at the end there to kick Rammus into turret just wasn't quite enough.
4 kills on both of these solo laners of blue team. Looking really scary. A lot of magic damage. Red team must get magic resist to really survive this mid game, and Devin Senpai gets hooked. Woolly Cow pops the ult, trying to go in there. The Leona will slow them both down. Here comes Sinsanity getting slowed by the box. Woolly Cow trying to kick off. Kylaf will do so, focusing attention to Sinsanity. But now he's going to go down to the Draven Axes, trying to flash away. Not sure if that was lag. He did stop for a brief moment there.
Yeah, that's a big swing there for blue. Vayne was playing that fight perfectly, just like the last one, until she got herself in between Annie and Draven. She actually kited up towards the Annie and chose her as her next target, but actually you saw kind of ran downwards towards where Draven was, which allowed her to get damaged by both at the same time, which just flattened her out. If she had actually kited up past the Annie, then Draven wouldn't have gotten in range.
Why trying to pass up the blue buff to Chris Hansen, I think, but goes over to Why I Try. No smite was used, so it looks like a little bit of miscalculation and damage. Chris Hansen bursting it too soon. Mancer going deep onto Chris Hansen. I'm not sure if this is the fight that he can win. Stuns him, knocks him into the wall, throwing rocks at him. Chris Hansen trying to throw it back, but a lot of magic resist from Manslayer means he's actually quite tanky right now.
Yeah, this is the build that I see Manslayer do against AP top laners, especially when there's an AP mid. He's getting chased down by the Rammus here. Looks like he'll be fine. He actually gets Banshee's Veil and Spirit Visage right away.
Or maybe even going for a locket, we'll have to see. Manslayer getting taunted. Chris Hansen trying to dish out the damage. The last Q he can get from in range, not going to be enough. Chris Hansen tanking up the turret. He wants this kill, but going to have to back off. Does not want to give a free kill over to Manslayer. Meanwhile, with Rammus going up top, red team makes a call for Dragon, picks that up, and now even in global goal again. Interesting entries from Draven, picks up the Bloodthirster first. Flash away from Sinsanity in the mid lane, does not want to take damage from this Fizz. Kylaf getting hooked up, Silver Bolt proc will chunk him. The ultimate from Leona only slows Matrix Python, but Matrix Python gonna go down to Kylaf. Holy cow, not able to help him in time.
Yeah, Devin Senpai is way too big for them to be fighting in the spot lane. Purple should really be avoiding that at all costs.
Ult from Fizz goes down. Chris Hansen gonna flash over it by Breaking Bad. Going in. Gonna die to the Chris Hansen. A little over aggressive there. When he missed that shark, probably should have backed out.
Yeah, the shark was well placed. He actually put it right where Chris Hansen was running and in between him and the turret, which meant that even if it missed, Chris Hansen wouldn't be able to run downwards without getting hit by the fish. So forced Hansen's flash, which he should have just taken that and left.
But going in on the Chris Hansen under turret, has tons of damage. Already has the Rod of Ages complete. Already stacking up, actually. Yeah, already half stacked. So Hansen's had that for 5 minutes now, so really fed Rise in this top lane.
Yeah, Breaking Bad and Chris Hansen actually friends in real life, so that might have just been a little dispute between them.
Bottom lane turret already down for blue team. They picked that up just a moment ago. Why I try coming in this mid lane, gonna go in onto Breaking Bad.
Not so sure Rammus wants that fight.
I don't think Rammus wants to fight. Go ahead and really chunked out. Kylaf not going to get hooked. Control Chaos, though, is here with the red buff. The Leona ultimate goes down. They're going in onto Vayne. But here comes Control Chaos, kicking Sinsanity into his team. Going extremely low. Going to go down on Devin Senpai. Woolly Cow Going really low. The axe from Draven will hurt him down. Matrix Python's the next target. This could be a triple kill for Devin Senpai. And Kylef escapes with her life. And now they're focusing on this bottom inner turret. They will likely take it down with Timbers tanking it. In the top lane, Breaking Bad and Manslayer are able to take down Chris Hansen.
That was a nicely executed play between those two. Manslayer with a nice flash ult away from the turret, which set up Breaking Bad for the fish, and there's really no getting out of that.
Manslayer throwing a boomerang at Y try, gonna connect. Second one won't though. Just gonna focus on clearing out these minions. Not likely to be able to take on the turret with Rammus there, so just farming up.
And Draven is just massive. I don't know that they have the means to really stop him. Fizz might be able to assassinate him with that Lich Bane, but Manslayer really doesn't have much damage, and he actually has not a single armor item, so he's just going to get chewed right through if that Draven gets those axes off on him. So I think this game is really up to Fizz at this point to really take care of that Draven.
It's going to be a hard uphill battle for blue team. There's a lot of carries, a lot of gold on blue team. Chris Hansen working on that Frozen Heart. Gonna get him really tanky to Gnar and Vayne. Actually picks up an Amplifying Tome. Interesting what he's gonna build that into. Does not build in Frozen Heart. Could be and a pause. I will use this opportunity to fix a key binding. Go ahead, Barb.
Yeah, it looks like that Amp Tome, if I had to guess, is either Void Staff or Woda. Woda, or not even
Will the
Not even the full, Will of the Ancients. Might just be a Hex Deck Revolver, but a lot of people like Spell Vamp on Rise because of the nature of how he just kind of spams abilities constantly throughout a fight. So sometimes he can just get to this point where you can't even kill him because you're just Spell Vamping through everybody's damage. More likely it's a Void Staff because that's actually more of a core item on Rise. But yeah, it's probably one of the two. And Draven with an unconventional build also. Kind of old school here with Bloodthirster and Phantom Dancer. Most people like pretty much the opposite. People like IE and Static Shiv these days.
Or IE and Yomu's Ghostblade.
Yeah, that works also.
Mancer gonna ult Chris Hansen into the wall, gonna stun him up, throwing rocks at him. Control Chaos gonna kick Hansen away from the Draven, gonna pick up the kill onto Chris Hansen.
And Draven not doing as much damage as I thought he would to Manslayer. Got a couple axes off on him, and it didn't even hurt that badly. But Meganar just really gives him tankiness.
Manslayer jumping in, throwing a boomerang. Leona does it, slows people down. Matrix Python goes down. Breaking Bad's going down. Double kill. Control Chaos is down. Manslayer running for his life. This is going to be a 4 kills for none exchange for blue team. A godlike Draven. This is not looking good for red team.
Yeah, Draven and Annie are both just huge, and trying to have these fights without even Vayne there, not really smart. Vayne just split pushing bot. They really should be avoiding fights if they don't have at least their whole team.
Yep. Red team very much the pick composition, and grouping for a fight against Leona Annie. Even though Leona did not hit the most perfect ultimate, did not stun anyone with it, really set up Annie for a good ult, and really ended that fight with so much damage being dealt through the Sunlight procs and other such sources. Manslayer teleporting into bottom lane, gonna go in onto Chris Hansen. Really aggressive play. I'm not sure who will win this. Chris Hansen winning it right now. He gets jumped, thrown into the wall. Meganar is here. Will this turn the tide for Manslayer? Chris Hansen throwing out spells, trying to get as most damage as possible. So is Manslayer. The stun comes out. Manslayer going low. Chris Hansen with the Q and the flash will take down Manslayer. Breaking Bad trying to get in onto Chris Hansen. Chris Hansen going in, gonna get the kill on the Breaking Bad. And now Control Chaos is in no man's land. He's gonna go down to Why I Try. The ultimate gonna take that kill. Just trying to clear a pink ward. He's getting chased by Draven now. Draven not going to pursue.
Yeah, this just got completely out of control for purple. I mean,
all
Annie.
from Annie, just absolutely devastating. Python. The combo is now godlike. Annie 7-1 and 9. This game could not go any more wrong for Red Team. Back-to-back lost exchanges mean that Blue Team picks up a Dragon and an 8,000 gold lead once they pick it up.
Yep, and all the gold is exactly where they want it. It's on Draven, Ryze, and Annie. So just huge shock and awe team fight damage coming out. And I don't think there's really much purple can do. Manslayer can't get tanky enough, fast enough to actually absorb all that damage. And, you know, Fizz and Vayne are just too squishy.
Draven has almost 3,000 gold on Vayne. That's a whole item. And, oh, the gank squad. Woolly Cow gonna get stunned up. The Shark goes in onto Annie. Gonna Zonya's that damage. Manslayer picking up the red buff. Gonna go to Meganar though, so not gonna have that up for the next exchange. Thresh through the Lantern, likely to just pick up the souls. Also bringing Wildy Cal over the wall. Chrysanthemum does finish the Void Staff, now looking likely for an Archangel Staff, which at this point would almost immediately turn into a Seraph's Embrace.
Yeah, Hansen just going for a lot of damage early on, which I think is pretty smart. Manslayer going full tank, so it'll help him split against him if need be. And they're just so ahead that all they really need to do is tear through the purple team quick and get this game over.
They are so far ahead. They have the team fight composition, and red is grouping for them. Which, oh, Annie throws out the ultimate. Gonna stun Manslayer. Matrix Python getting absolutely chewed up. He goes down. Manslayer gonna get Leona ultimate. Gets absolutely destroyed by the 4-man squad of blue. Control Chaos goes down. Chris Hansen gonna take out Woolly Cow, but dies in the process. Breaking Bad was in the bottom lane farming. Not sure if that's the fight red team wanted, and that's now a 10,000 gold lead for blue team. They are absolutely just snowballing.
Yeah, that's just superior gold lead at work. They didn't even have a chance there. You know, blue team can just play fights horribly at this point, and it's still going to go in their favor. You know, purple, if they wanted to even have a chance, needed to just sit back and farm, and hopefully, by a fluke, they killed the Draven quick. But it's looking pretty much over.
Manslayer going in onto why I tried. The Shark goes on. The Zonya is there to prevent the damage. Devin Senpai dealing lots of damage over to Breaking Bad. Breaking Bad one hit from dead. The Red Wealth Chicken not going to go down. Leona goes down. Ramesses goes down. Sincerity goes down. Red team turning it, but they lose the inhibitor in the process.
So blue team kind of overstaying the welcome a little bit. They did get the inhibitor, but gave up, I think, at least one shutdown. So
the red team picking up the Baron. They need to pick that up, otherwise they are just unlikely to win this game. Both members of blue are in the base. This is likely a free Baron.
Yeah, this is a free Baron, and this is why blue team probably should have just left, taken the tower and left, healed up, and then came back for the inhibitor once they were all healthy and had ults.
Vayne and Gnar very good at taking this Baron, both with percent health damage procs. Pretty interesting seeing both of their particles showing up at the same time. Ryze is going to get hooked up. I don't know if they can actually kill him, though, with Devin Senpai close by. But Chris Hansen wants to go in. Controlled Chaos going to kick in Devin Senpai, but he will go down for it. A little over-aggressive there.
Yeah, it was a nice pick if they had more of their team there. They didn't have Manslayer there, and I don't believe Fizz was there either.
Yeah, Fizz was not there. And down goes a Baron buff onto Lee Sin. He's going to lose that. Now 20 seconds without Lee Sin. Matrix Python might get got out. He gets Annie stunned, absolutely destroyed by the damage of Annie and Draven. This Draven 11-1 and 5. Devin Senpai flexing his muscles once again in these lobbies.
Yeah, they kind of had something going for them there with the Baron and a couple kills from the team fight right before, and they kind of just gave it up. They might even lose the game here.
Yeah, pushing out these Nexus turrets. Why trying to walk away from the Gnar. Tibber is just whacking at Manslayer. Gonna go down to a smite. Kyle F trying to look for an engage there. Not gonna find it. Manslayer goes in, knocks 3 of them into the inhibitor. This could be the fight that red team's looking for. The stun lands onto Wildy Cow. Manslayer gonna go in. Kyle A legendary Draven takes out the Fizz, but Vayne picks up 2 kills onto Rammus, onto Leona. Woolly Cow going in onto Sinsanity. Gonna take him down. Devin Senpai gonna go down to Manslayer. That's the fight the red team absolutely needed. And Chris Hansen running away with his life. Barely intact.
Yeah, that fight can just be described in 2 words. Manslayer. That was just a huge gnaw roll right into the inhibitor. Packs in 2 of their carries and just chunks them. And even though Draven got plenty of time to put some damage down and take out a couple members of Purple, that ult just swung the fight in Purple's favor.
That was an insanely clutch ultimate from Manslayer on that Gnar. The only real initiation power they have on their team is that ultimate. But the one thing I will say is almost everyone on that team had Baron, and they barely won that fight. They're gonna need a very much the same fight again, and almost more ideal if that's even possible, as they're gonna lose Baron here shortly. If not, they have already lost it.
Yeah, what I'm seeing from Purple is pretty reasonable mechanical play. It's just the decision making has been pretty lackluster. They've been fighting when they shouldn't, and getting caught, which has really put Blue ahead. I think if they made some better decision making, then they'd probably be in a better spot.
Pause coming out, maybe a little bit of lag going on. Gives us time to talk about item builds. Chris Hansen already finished 3 offensive items with the Rod of Ages, which I believe is fully stacked at this point. Yes, it is. The Seraph's Embrace and a Void Staff, and likely working towards Frozen Heart as the next item. Rammus has Ancient Golem and Sunfire Cape, so pretty tanky right there. A lot of armor. Annie got 3 offensive items. Draven has 3 offensive items and a BF Sword and a Pickaxe looking towards that Infinity Edge to 2 offensive items and components for Vayne. So very far ahead.
And Blue just has 3 massive damage threats, and really the only way Purple team can neutralize them is a Manslayer ult like we saw last fight, where he packs all 3 of their carries into a wall and stuns them and chunks them down.
And so they're trying to go in, not can really get the initiation. Mega Gnar is popped. If Blue team can wait this out and then go in, they'll be extremely strong. The Leona completely whips Insanity looking for the flank. Gonna have the Zanya's Matrix Python goes on to Devin Senpai. Manslayer trying to do all his work in the fight. Woolly Cow is dominating, picks up a kill, working on YA Try, gonna take him down. Now it's 3 versus 3. Woolly Cow definitely the focus for Chris Hansen, gonna take him down. Controlled Chaos goes down to Devin Senpai. Manslayer is the last man standing for Red Team, and that's gonna be the game. With Draven Leona up and a wave right here. Unless Matrix Python can hold, this is going to be the game for Blue Team.
Yeah, a closer fight than it actually should have been, because what happened there was Manslayer actually ulted the 2 members of Blue that he didn't really want to ult. He ulted YI Try and Kylaf, the support and the jungler, into a wall, and left all 3 of the damage dealers just open for business.
Matrix Python trying to slow them. Fizz is up in night now. Here comes Fizz. Fizz coming out of base, 1 share down. He's got the home guards. That's actually going to sway Devin Senpai and Kylaf from continuing. So Matrix Python with that flay was enough to stop the second next turret from falling. But 1 goes down. Dead timer's just not long enough right now. So Blue Team still got to find 1 more fight to end this game. And potentially could be at Baron in a minute and a half.
Yeah, I think the smart thing to do would be to just maybe siege down that top inner turret and get some vision around Baron, get the pinks down, just wait for that Baron. And as far as Purple Team goes, I think the way they really need to win the next fight is off of a Thresh hook onto a premier target. Hopefully Draven, maybe Annie or Ryze, but they really need to fight off of a pick. You know, just fighting straight up when they're this far behind isn't going to work, and they've been trying to do it, and it hasn't been going that well.
Red Team going to pick up their 3rd turret of the game, the 3rd outer. Now down 8,000 gold. They have a long way to go if they want to come back from this game. Manslayer going to get Mega Gnar. He's going to ult. No, he's not. No, he's not choosing ult. When's he going to ult? Manslayer. But in the back line, and he takes out the Vayne. Controlled Chaos gonna go down to the Leona. Chris Hansen takes out Breaking Bad. Manslayer licking his wounds, trying to get out of the fight. Now blue team 5 strong. Major Python back into ward. Gets stopped by Y Try. Chris Hansen will pick up the kill. Now Manslayer, the only remaining hope for red team. Gonna have to take this 5v1. Don't think he's gonna have the power to do it.
Yeah, that's probably the game here. And yeah, purple just so far behind. They just got crushed in that last team fight. Manslayer's ult was pretty on point, but just too far behind.
Yeah, there goes Manslayer, going really chunked out. He's not going to be able to defend this. Manslayer, Chris Hansen dives the turret trying to get Manslayer, but he heals too quickly. The Nexus is being not focused. Now, Devin Senpai, there's 3 members of red team. They're not focused on Nexus, but Ramus is. That will end the game. Why try? Closing it out.
Yeah, when you have a Draven at a point where he can just stand right in the face of 2 members of the other team and just out-damage them, out-lifesteal them, you're gonna have a tough time.
Yeah, 4 full items were completed, and he was working on a Guardian's Angel as his last. Devin Senpai went massive that game. Chris Hansen was one of the first top laners to really give Manslayer the business in the top lane, really hold him down and not allowing him to go big. Manslayer did pull off some really clutch plays for his team, but they were just so far behind that they could not recover.
Yeah, and really some reasonable mechanical play from both sides. What really separated them this game was just decision making, I think. Just blue team just making the right calls, picking people, picking the right fights, whereas purple was kind of picking fights that weren't going to go their way. And I think that's why blue team really came out on top.